4月28最後にやったのだいぶ昔じゃん。忘れてる。どういうとこだっけ。ウープ目なんかあったな。うわイカタコイカ。
Who goes there?
ああそうそう、なるほど。夢落ち。
That nightmare again. I need a drink.
酒が必要。アル中だ、酒のせいだ。これは深刻な個物です。あの男はもう字が早い。どういうゲームだっけ。どういうゲーム。
No. I want to know what Bradley and Dr. Colden have to say about all this.
You're awake, Mr. Pierce. How do you feel?
Did I sleep long?
The day is only starting.
朝になったばっかりです。大丈夫です。なんで寝た。
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
There are things I can't explain.
Tell us. What happened?
サラ・ホーキンス。狩りやつはひどい目にあった。ヒント見つけたかも。ああ、ヒント。どうやって選ぶの。選択。ああ、選べないの。赤いとこは選べないの。チャールズ。そう、心理学ってす。
I found a Darkwater PD badge. Lost a colleague recently?
What the?
Bradley.
Ethan?
I'm all right. I just had a... It's gone.
You're sure?
If it's important, it'll come back. But I can't explain why Dr. Fuller would have that badge.
The man's a danger, believe me.
What can we do, Pierce?
What I'm sure of now is that the Hawkins case isn't just an accident.
And what brings you to that conclusion?
The fact that Charles Hawkins survived the fire.
I don't understand. Mr. Hawkins was buried.
That's what he would have you believe.
I have a hard time believing you.
You were there, Bradley. You even opened fire on him.
I'd remember that.
Why would he fake his own death? Do you think he covered up his wife's murder?
That's possible.
Seems hard to swallow. Don't you have anything more concrete, Pierce?
What is that?
Bradley, what do you remember?
I don't understand your question.
The night we went into the Hawkins mansion. You don't seem to remember the tunnels and what occurred there.
No memory of going down any tunnel. No, we were in the manor then,
Then what?
The rest is quite blurry. I don't recall how I came back home.
And then?
I went to visit you at the hospital and called on Marie's help to get you released.
And you don't remember the events of the tunnel?
I don't. Let's talk about something else.
なんで怪しい。これ選べない。
I heard you talking earlier.
Why am I not surprised?
I get the impression you two don't get along.
Intrusive and not very clever. Anyway, let's get back to the business at hand.
Given the energy he pours into Riverside, I presume it was Fuller's creation.
His father's, to be correct. He was a surgeon on board the Scylla. He founded the hospital in 1904 with funds from the Hawkins family before he died and his son Thomas Fuller took over.
Two families inextricably linked.
Most island families are that way. Captain Fitzroy's father was also a seaman aboard the Scylla.
Powerful families dominating everything.
Yes, and as you could tell, Dr. Fuller is like some crazed emperor.
He wouldn't be happy if he knew we were snooping around.
I know the risks. I don't fear him. Do you wish to know anything else?
Dr. Fuller seems to be leaving a trail of corpses. Not to mention those strange machines, chains, and tools of all kind.
Yes. I've been telling you that Fuller uses his patients as guinea pigs.
What I saw was more akin to torture than medicine.
Do you even hear what you're saying? Dr. Fuller is highly respected.
It's the truth, Ethan. And I'll prove it to you. I'm listening, Mr. Pierce.
夢で見たってこと？戻ってくださいって戻るって意味か。
I met a Francis Sanders. You know him?
Of course, he's a patient. Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins. And that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure.
Tell me how Mr. Sanders died.
I didn't see what, but something was there with us.
Of what do you speak?
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector. I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector, you say? That's probably how they met.
If you plan on having dinner at the Sanders household, please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
慎重にいきましょう。
Without a plausible explanation for what I saw, let's not jump to conclusions.
That seems wise indeed.
Very well.
命運
I'll
を
go
左
to
右し
see
ます。
Francis's widow. Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
3ポイント持ってます。筋力調査。 酒を飲まない。出ていいの？ないか。オカルトが上がる本がなんかない。出る。空船みたい。
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders, I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may. However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
昨日亡くなったって。
That is precisely what brings me here.
Well, well.
キャッ
Look
ト。
who's here.
ごめん。
You know each other.
Our paths crossed, briefly. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, Detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very
Irene.
well, Miss Baker.
サイレントヒル。
This way,
Formal.
Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me. May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
疑ってんのか。
I met him at the
顔
hospital.
ブツブツだぞ。
He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings.
焼いてんの？
Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
I expected to find you more grief-stricken than this by the death of your husband.
I do not like the tone of your allusion, sir.
え？
I had long months to weep every tear in my body, and to accept, if not my fate, at least that of my husband. And so I'm sorry to disappoint you if you're expecting more hysteria and grieving widow in my voice.
怒ってるの？
Rest assured, however, my anger is real. I need to understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute? And right before your eyes? Did you not do anything to help him?
So ask Fuller. He's the eminent doctor. But I would caution you. You'll find his treatments more terrifying than the illnesses he sets out to cure.
That churl no longer takes the trouble to receive me. He sends his secretary to tell me that I cannot see Francis. Me. His own widow. He must think that I am a terrible wife for having abandoned him in such a way. But I only wanted what was best for
めっ
him.
ちゃ宝石つけて
I'm
る。
not here to condemn you, Mrs. Sanders.
Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
もっと協力してくれ。
How did you come to meet Sarah Hawkins?
We were the wealthiest and most influential families on Darkwater. Of course we would know each other. And when Charles returned from Europe with his sweet little artist, she and her sinister paintings were destined to catch my husband's eye. He bought many of her works over the last 5 years. They adorn his macabre gallery.
Did your husband talk to you about Sarah Hawkins' visitor? A shambler, to use his precise terms.
Well, you can't imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
It is my only lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it...
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be long.
まずピアノを弾こう。隠し扉が開くとこ。
The day the Shambler came into the Sanders' lives.
サラ・ホーキンスと隣サンダースが写ってる写真なんだろう。再現シーン入るの。よいしょーい。あの日に入ろう。
Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins were close. Friends, even? A house of artists.
どういうこと？
A house of artists. A house of artists. What did Sarah Hawkins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting? He was...
ダメ？心理学使えなかったって意味？どういう意味？いや字が消えちったよもう。バグってんのか？やばい、産地が。フィア。
The Shambler. I need to see it.
何？あ、今おかしかったぞ絵が。やっぱりなんか産地が。
Let's see what this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph.
聞くってどういうこと？
Irene, I made a mistake. mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyelids each time I shut my eyes. I can't take any more. I can't hold him back. Forgive me.
That accursed gallery. Those accursed paintings. That accursed Sarah.
めっちゃ怒ってる。めっちゃ怒ってる。さっきの音楽と同じように弾けば何かが起きるとかでもわかんねえ。ギャラリーどこ？人んち勝手にこっちギャラリーっぽい。何？なんかありそうだけどな。隠された。こう見たっけ？
Did she really care for him after all?
遺体を返せないって。これ全部皿、タコの足がある。これお城、お家、山、人の顔、わかんない。これも皿が書いてある。眠さが来るな。普通にゲームしたいんだけど眠くなってくるのはどういう病気なのこれ。ひどい。これは似てねえぞ。こんな似てない絵を買ったの。
I could use one of those.
睡眠薬取っちゃったし。
A strange Amerindian pendant.
オカルトが進歩した。
Strange. For months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with her painting, to finally give it away for nothing. An old diary.
開けない。医学が上がった。お、開いたし。
I've got a lot of bad habits.
Some can be more fatal than others. What have you come looking for in this gallery?
Another painting by Sarah Hawkins. One connected to the horrors I've discovered on this island.
What a surprise. I'm listening.
協力して。
And you? What brings you to the Sanders home?
I'm here on business. Irene asked me to liquidate all these paintings. She doesn't intend to hang around here for long.
Why you?
Believe it or not, there aren't many collectors on Darkwater. It needs someone with a network and a means of transport to the mainland. A choice that comes down to Fitzroy and me. And I'm far more pleasant, wouldn't you say? Not now, sweetheart. I'd like to read this without some snoop looking over my shoulder.
これは絶対なんかあれじゃないの。産地が下がるやつ。なんで隠れる？何かに追われるの？デッドバイデイライトなのこれ。
These artifacts date from pre-Columbian times.
絶対呪われてる。あんまりいい雰囲気ではない。
The man transformed an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery.
目から血でアヒルを殺している。大体血が出てんの。悪趣味なアートが好きってこと。忘れたライトがあること。これが問題の絵でしょ。鼻に火をつけてやれ。なんか落ちてそうだよね。探索が必要になるんでしょこういうの。
Why was he so interested in old weapons?
Mm. 天井もすごい。
The public entrance to the gallery.
まだ見たくない。なんか調べたい。OK。
Is this dagger part of Sanders' collection, or was he seeking to acquire it?
担当あっちになったんじゃん担当。
These artifacts date from pre-Columbian times.
ムーベ入った。自動。絵に食べられる。絶対食べられる。振り向いちゃいけない。生まれる。空鬼隠れてる。あー、隠れんのかこれ。うわー、これサイレントヒルシャッタードメモリーズにだったっけに出てくる敵みたい。目はなさそう。目はない。きっと音は立てない。
What the hell was that?
いる？まだ。いるし。ずっと隠れててダメなのかなこれ。うわ。
I can't even touch it. No way out.
わ。ゲームオーバー。どうすんの？
What the hell was that?
で何をしたい
？That thing came out of this painting. There has to be a way. Maybe I can destroy it.
ですよね。そりゃそうなるわ。エイリアンアイソレーション。どういうこと？絵に関係あるもの。
What the hell was that?
.どういうことどういうことどういうこと？許し。めっちゃエイリアンじゃんこれ。わからない。どういう？お前をどうすれと。絵を調べるんじゃねえのかい
What the hell was that?
何すんだよ。うわ、意味わからん。もう一回絵に行ってね。絵に行こう。
What the hell was that? That thing came out of this painting. There has to be a link. Maybe if I destroy it.
バレてんかい？
Down. Did it hear that? I could try tearing the painting with this thing.
そういうこと。うわあ、もうちょいだったのかな。ご了承ダメなんだね。先にナイフ取りに行っていい？
What the hell was that?
むずくねえかこれ。あのナイフで合ってんのか。
Damn. Did it hear that? Maybe I can use this dagger.
え、なんで嘘。むずくねえかこれ。赤狼みたいになってきた。
What the hell was that?
ちょっと待って。これじゃないとダメ。くるくるしてるやつ。どれだ。これかな、やっぱ。
Damn. Maybe I can use this dagger.
これで合ってるか。これじゃない。
Damn it. This dagger didn't work.
これか。
This dagger looks different.
ダメ。ああ、これじゃないの。最初でちゃんと見とけばよかった。
What the hell was that?
わざとここで音を立てて。
Damn. Did it hear that?
来てる。いや。何回しも。むずい。ね。よいしょ。エルダーサインがあるやつ。
What the hell was that?
こっち側にはないと思うんだよな。 ちゃんと光に当ててみよう。これは違うな。やっぱあっち側の部屋なんだよな。もう嫌だ。もう嫌だ。むずい。こいつ
What
なん
the
か
hell was
でき
that?
ないのか。わざと音を立ててここで一回。
Damn. Did it hear that?
あっち行った。よし。でその間に私こっちに来るでしょ。これじゃない。これでもない。これでもない気がするんだよ。これ。これだ。
This dagger looks different.
違うように見えるな。でもエルダーサインついてるもん。オッケー。わあオッケー。違うように見えるなってほんまに嘘つきだ。死ね。やばい、連れてかれる。ささささささ。口を刺しなさい。なんちゅう絵を描いてる。あ、手が腐っちゃう。手が。彼方より見えてなかったの？
You sure you won't be needing that hand? You're losing it, Detective. At this rate, you're right. The bottle will get you before I do.
You didn't see anything.
I saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm. Did I miss something more interesting?
It's nothing. I think I just drank too much.
That goes without saying. If you can't tell the difference between reality and fiction, then you're in real trouble.
I ran, screamed, broke a pane of glass. You were in the next room and you didn't hear a thing.
If I hadn't heard a thing, I'd still be in the other room. The door was blocked. I got in as soon as I could. I like to look after my goods.
You mean me?
Don't flatter yourself, sweetheart. I'm talking about the contents of this gallery. And by the way, where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life. It's an extraordinary dagger.
You should talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater. He'll tell you all about it. From what I saw in the ledgers, it was him who sold it to Sanders.
It's not your style to give me free information like that.
Take it as payment for being my canary. A simple trade-off. Now go see your antique seller. I still got things to settle with Irene.
礼を言いなさい。電柱。あの絵怖えな。あの絵からも出てくんじゃね？入れ替わってんじゃんすでに。 死んでる。何と遅かったか。死んでるかもしれない。私騙されたんじゃん。濡れ衣を着せようとしたんじゃん、あの女キャットが。私が第一発見者にして容疑者になるように。
Where's the bookseller? An old diary.
あ、医学書だよ。医学が上がっちゃった。
The Book of Zion is the foundational work behind Helena Blavatsky's Theosophical movement. Its followers place truth on the same footing as a religion.
オカルトが上がっちゃった。もうちょっと上がりたいな。
What does this strange book contain? This book contains unholy knowledge.
Ah, 産地が。小気度が。こっち取ってないの。読んだっけ？読んでない。なんかある。ちゃんと調べなきゃ。
Freud's The Interpretation of Dreams. It's the work that laid the foundations of psychoanalysis at the beginning of this century.
お、医学が上がった。イエーイ。ちゃんと調べたらもっといっぱいあるはずだよ。ね。ボーナスタイムで。お、医学が上がってく。さっき34だったけどどうなった？ 38。そんなに あ、3ポイント持ってんの、キャラポイント。平等に上げていくか。あった。また単調なパートになったから、パールのようなもの眠くなるかもしれないね。さっきの逃げるとこ、お、金庫があるぞ。エルダーサインがある。どうやればいい？このシートの下とか。
What happened here? Let's start over. Where did they break in from? Blood. Seems like amateur work.
何かをパクってきた。
To whom does this footprint belong? No sign of struggle. If the burglar smashed this jar, it wasn't intentionally. Was he hurt then? What killed all these animals?
何これ。なんか死んでんの？スカラベ？
What sort of thief leaves his tools at the crime scene?
絵に吸い込まれたんじゃねえ。
What happened that made the burglar flee before finishing his work?
やばい。
What the? Charles Hawkins?
ホーキンス誰？地下で何？エルダーサインを書いてる。
What sort of power
守ってるってこ
did
とか。
Sarah Hawkins' painting possess?
やばい。ああ、オカ
Sarah
ルト。
Hawkins helped hide something in this safe.
これ読んじゃいけないやつじゃん。
Right? Every
こっちはいけないと。
Drake left instructions on how to find the combination of his safe.
番号3本のシリンダーにある。シリンダーって
Is everyone on this island taking sleeping pills? What link did he find between Charles Hawkins and an old amulet?
どういうこと？ルルイエじゃん。シリンダーってな。
Arkham editions. Never heard of them.
アーカム。
How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham editions.
あ、この2とか第2巻とか
Arkham editions.
第7巻、そういうこと。
Never heard of them.
ちゃんとお話聞いた？むずいな。シリンダーにある。ギリシャ世界で生命と学が交わる場所。
How many volumes are there in this collection?
夢の詩。秘滅や超自然。
Another volume by Arkham editions.
秘密や超自然。
Arkham editions. Never heard of them.
むずすぎないか？ちょっと。
How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham editions.
秘密や超自然。
Arkham editions. Never heard of them.
秘境や
How
超
many
自然。
volumes are there
秘
in this
境や超
collection?
自然。
Another volume by Arkham editions. Things are not looking good. A kind of chalice. A kind of chalice. cylinders that Drake tried to hide. I should perhaps listen to them.
お医学が上がった。なんか隙間にありそう。シリンダーを聞くってどこ？蓄音機あったっけ？あ、1個2個3個。
And these red rocks, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
何の話？
And these red rocks, like
この赤い
precious
水
stones,
滴。
lie fixed, set in divine gold.
赤い水滴の
To
話
be
して
the
る。
guardian of the Grail, I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my
何を言っ
apprehension
てるのか分か
grows.
んない。
We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me.
アンソロジーの本。
Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly
第9
relevant to
巻。
my research. I never tire of browsing through them. And these red rocks, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay.
So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message.
どういうこと？これ7巻ってこと？
What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message.
9、7。
What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message.
973、973。
What did Drake say about this collection?
一応は親切。739にしてみる。9973。ちょっと待って。じゃあ937。あとある ?397。397。793。ちょっと待って。あれ全部やったよね。待って。
Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message.
9。待って待って。
And these red rocks, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. I finally understood that we were only dear friend. I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9,
9、最後9だよ
Azathoth
ね。
and other
やっぱ
horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my
やっ
research.
ぱ最後9なんだ。
I never tire of browsing through them.
引っ掛けかな。
What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message.
あれ1、あれ
What did Drake say about this collection?
あれ 1？ あれなんで3ってなった私。3。
Drake talked about a
あ、
particular
3ってなっ
volume.
てるもんね。あれ
So these are the volumes that Drake... What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular
そういうこ
volume.
とね。なんだそういうこと。
So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message.
待って、イシスの話してたっけなんてなってたもう一回ちゃんと。
What did Drake say about this collection?
イシス。ベールは剥がれた。ベールは剥がされたイシス。
And these red rocks, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry.
灰の
And
守
I
護
do
神。
confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets. I finally understood that we were only pieces on the
チェ
chessboard
ッ
of the
カー版の
gods.
コモですかな。
Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of
アーカム
Arkham
出版のアン
editions
ソ
that
ロ
you
ジー
sent
の
me.
本。
Volume 9, Azathoth and other horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
あれは罠なのかヒント。
The Queen has little protection. Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did
アザ
Drake
ート
say
スとほ
about
ら
this collection?
なんか言ってた気がするね。覚えられない。
Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message.
あ、オペラこれ知ってる。
What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume.
–むずいよ。
So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message.
やばい。むずい。
What did Drake say about this collection?
なんかヒント的なあれないんだけど。どれ
Drake talked about a particular volume.
なんか赤い。
So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message.
はあ、む
What
ず
did Drake say about this collection?
むずくねえですかこのゲーム。 赤いしてまる尊い石のようにじっとしていて見事な金はい杯の杯の守護
I am willing to pay to know its secrets. And these red rocks, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions.
守護者になっても
And
そ
I
の
do
魅力か
confess
ら
it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message.
灰の守護者とかどういうこと
What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a so these are the volumes that Drake was. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was. What did Drake say about this? Drake talked about a particular. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message.
民族伝承
What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume.
むずっやばくねえかどっかにヒントね難しいの知識ってどういうことふわ難しい難しいよ言ってる意味が分かんないんだよ
divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
ヘンリーって言ってる。もしかして人の名前？よくちゃんとあれするの。
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the
ヘンリ
gods.
ーで誰ます？
Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. Dear friend, I thank you again for the
Henryってのは
anthology
人
of
の
the
名前
works
か。
of Arkham editions that you sent me.
アーカムシップ
Volume
アンソロジ
9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
やっぱ最後アザートスとホラーって言った。
So these are the volumes that Drake was
9か。
talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume.
まず何番があるんだ？
So these are the volumes
2
that
番。
Drake was talking about in his... What did Drake say
2、
about this
3。
collection? Drake talked about a
1。
particular volume. So these are the volumes that
7。
Drake was talking about in his... What did Drake say about this
4。
collection?
王が杯じゃん。何番目に杯出てきたっけ？ 4。最初が赤いなんとかだからなんとか4、9でいいんじゃん。
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the
違
playthings
うの
of
か。最初があれか。
And these red rocks, like precious stones,
最初が杯の話か。
set in divine gold.
で4な
To
ん
be
とか
the
9。
guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attraction.
わかんないな。4。元ネタ知らないと難しいゲームなんじゃない？ 4にして、こっちをどうするかだよね。マジかよ。
Drake talked about a particular volume.
具体的なアルカンのことを話していた。だから内容がわかんない。
So
ちょっ
these are
と
the
裏面
volumes
とかあるの
that
もしかして。
Drake was talking about in his message.
なんか開けるのか。
What did Drake say about this collection?
会話と内容が一致
Drake
しないんだ
talked
けど。
about a particular volume.
詩集。これ最後9。
So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his
鍵の
message.
話してないし。地図の話してた。
What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So
会話に
these are the
なってない
volumes
じゃん。
that Drake was talking about in his message.
どうしてほしい。もうちょっと謎解き簡単にして。日本語訳がおかしいのか。終わるか。終わりが見えないもん。答えがわかんない。
And these red blocks, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
何の話してんだ。
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling,
なんか
and
書い
my
てあ
Queen
る。
will
has little
strengthens as
protection.
my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny.
この数をか、そういうこと違う。チェッカー版調べられるよね。4ってことか。何色の話してた。そういうことなのかな。本は一冊だけしか関係ない。もしかして。
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny.
4ってことかな。2番目は4。49。なんとか49。赤いなんとかがわかんないな。守ってんのは騎士だから3にすんのかな。ちょっと待って。3にして、 マジで。あ、いた。あ、いた。なんでなんで。やっとだよ。何分ここで。多分本は一冊だけ関係あって、あとはチェスの話してからチェス盤の完成。赤いなんとかかんとかってのが分かんないな。大丈夫これ。産地変える。見ちゃいけないやつでした。わあ、亡くなった人たち。水の中。何？驚きの白さ。書、トロフィー書。ロードが長いぞ。めっちゃ大丈夫？バグってない？ちょっと心配になってきた。こんな長いか。あ、動いてる。少し動いてる。めっちゃ遅い。ムービー見たら終わろうか。
Dr. Calder, this man's condition is deteriorating.
What's this Dr. Fuller? It's his patient, after all.
He's busy with Captain Fitzroy. He specifically asked us not to bother him when
怪しい。
that's
船
the
長も
case.
実は怪しいな。
Oh, of course. I'll see what I can do. Mr.
私
Blake, can you hear me? I'm Dr. Colden. We'll take care of you.
私も
There's
何
nothing we can do.
廃
I
人になっ
tried
てんの？
talking to him. He's catatonic.
What can you tell me about him?
He was highly agitated an hour ago. We were about to tie him down when he fell asleep. 10 minutes ago, he curled up into a fetal position. I thought he was waking up, but no.
What are his symptoms?
His temperature has been going down. His skin losing its color.
皮膚の色も
His
薄くなっ
body
てきてる。
rigid.
夢の中で
Closed
私
his
操
eyes
作してるの。
myself. They were glassing over. I
目が
didn't
曇
want
り
them
す
to
る。
dry out, and I couldn't bear to look at the expression on his face.
You did well. Don't worry. Let's stay professional, if you will. I don't recognize him. Did he just arrive on the island?
He said he worked on the docks, but not with Captain Fitzroy. I think he works for Ms. Baker.
Who?
You know, the woman at the head of their gang. They call her Cat.
Oh, I see.
Do you have other questions?
Show me his file.
That's not
な
possible.
んで？
Don't tell me Dr. Fuller has taken this file as well. We need it.
That's why I called you. This man's ailment has been hidden from us.
Come on now. What was he treated for?
An intoxication, I was told. after inhaling chemicals.
That'll do for the time being.
Any
Honey.
idea what this man might be undergoing?
わかんない。
Very well. I'll examine him.
どうやって見んのこれ。
Erythematous papules around the eyes and eardrums. Necrosed palpebral
意
tissue.
識してる。
Lord, this smell.
この匂い。
His skin shows abnormal loss of color and seems dried out.
お水を
He's
飲まして。
totally dehydrated. His fingertips and toes seem to feature a slight ring
輪が
under
できてい
the
るようだ。
skin. Tender at the touch.
カエルになろうとして
Slightly
んの。
sticky.
インスマスインスマス
Slight protuberances seem to indicate the presence of a
体内
foreign
に何かいるっ
body.
て。やばい。
So, Doctor, an
規
opinion?
制されてますこれは。
I'm not sure I have the necessary knowledge to treat this man.
お
Don't
腹
say
かっさ
that.
ばなきゃ。
You're
かっ
our
さば
most
かな
worthy doctor after Dr. Fuller.
Some of his symptoms are beyond my comprehension.
これも先生なの。
What did you find?
I see signs of hypodermoclysis, but he's still dehydrated. When was his last IV?
He's constantly under perfusion. I've even gone beyond the recommended dose to no avail. And you won't believe me, but when we bathed him,
さっきお風呂に入れた時。
He seemed to feel better?
yes, like he needs an aquarium, not a perfusion. But that doesn't explain his condition.
Did you examine his abdomen? It would seem there's something inside.
赤ちゃんを身ごもっ
He
てんじゃな
hasn't
い。
eaten in days. Are you certain it's not an edema?
No. Can't you recognize an edema? Pushing with your finger won't leave a trace. And look at these bumps.
It's not like he could be pregnant.
Whatever it is, this man has something inside him that shouldn't be there. We should operate on him at once.
Dr. Fuller said not to worry, that the edema would go away.
嘘
by
でフラン
itself.
先生を信じ
You
ないで。
know, I'm not sure Dr. Fuller is telling the truth. In spite of the muscle contractions, his arms seem limp.
Yes. They can't have decalcified, not at this rate.
And yet, if there is a bone in this arm, it's softer than that of a newborn baby. What about his cranium?
It's soft at the touch. It does seem like the skull of a baby.
頭蓋骨も
Look at these
柔らかい。
sticky rings growing at his fingertips. What can be happening?
I'm sure you'll find an explanation. You have to.
I almost don't believe it myself, but these symptoms are not those usually associated with the human species.
What do you mean? Don't tell me you believe in extraterrestrials.
No. This poor man is from our world, all right. But his body is undergoing unnatural mutations. And this transformation is killing him. His body simply can't cope.
Where could he have gotten such an infection?
I pray that it's not here.
Dr. Colden, may I know what you're doing to my patient?
ゴールデ
I'm
ン先生。
How about what you've done to him?
Let us calm down, my dear Marie. I don't appreciate your tone, nor your
Hurrah.
insinuations. I've done to him what I do to all my patients. Provide him with the best available care.
石ならひ
Your
げを剃れよ。
imagination is without
不衛生。
limit.
頭
It's
に
your homemade drug
髪
again,
の
is
毛
it
ないのに。
not? Those people are not your guinea pigs.
There, there. What have you seen to put you in such a state?
His limbs? His body temperature? I don't know what experiments you've undertaken, but this is going too far.
Oh, I sense some excitement beneath your indignation. Could it be you wish to join me in my scientific endeavors?
You are a brilliant physician, Dr. Fuller, but this man has the attributes of some kind of animal.
Fascinating. An animal, you say? Could you be more precise? Cephalopod, perhaps?
This amuses you.
Your reaction does. I know your thirst for knowledge, Doctor. It's your innocent worries for this man that have you overreacting.
For this man, and the others whose medical files you've been hiding.
I have to protect my discovery. These people owe me their life, but the world isn't ready yet. It will be, in time.
I will not let you do this.
You disappoint me, Marie, but I still have hope you'll one day share my point of view. In the meantime, take care of your own patients and try not to forget who you're dealing with.
Was that a threat? What did he mean?
It was a warning. Dr. Fuller is this institution's founder, and one of our profession's most influential voices. My word is of no weight against his. If I continue to protest, I will only ruin my reputation and career.
It's scandalous. Can't we do anything? Is there no evidence of his crimes?
I disapprove of Fuller's methods, but his treatments have saved more lives than I can count.
And Mr. Blake? You said yourself he was dying.
I don't know what to think for now. What I'm sure of is that Fuller is hiding something from us, and I need to know what that is before I take a chance exposing him.
And where would you find those? In his office? What if you get caught?
I'd rather not think about that. I'm counting on your discretion.
Of course, Doctor. You can count on me. I'll keep mum.
やばい、寝てた。終わろう。終わります。ありがとうございます。いつの間に終わってた。